Good day everyone, welcome to my vlog. So for this video, we will talk about the inverse of trigonometric function. Properties of inverse function. Number 1. A function must be one-to-one in order to have an inverse function. Number 2. The graph of the inverse function is a reflection of the original function about the line y is equals to x. Number 3. If quantity x and y is a point on the graph of the original function, then the quantity of y and x is a point on the graph of the inverse function. 4. The domain and range of a function and its inverse are interchanged. So example, y is equals to cosine x, negative infinity, x is greater than infinity, and x is less than to infinity. This is not a one-to-one function. So as you can see in the figure, since the horizontal lines intersect the graph many times, more than one x values associated with a single value, the inverse relationship is not a function. It will not pass the graph. So now, a function must be one-to-one in order to have an inverse function according to properties number 1. So y is equals to cosine x 0 less than or equal to x is greater than or equal to pi. Restricted cosine function is a one-to-one and does have an inverse function called r cos x or cosine negative 1x. So as you can see in the graph, this is not a one-to-one function, but they have an inverse function called r cosine x or cos negative 1x. The graph of the inverse function is a reflection of the original function about the line y is equals to x. According to properties number 2, note the symmetry of the graphs of cos x and r cos x about the line y is equals to x. According to properties number 3, if quantity of x and y is a point on the graph of the original function, then the quantity of y and x is a point on the graph of the inverse function. So, quantity pi over 3 and 1/2 is a point on the graph of y cos x. Cosine pi over 3 is equals to 1/2. So, as you can see in the graph, at the center of the graph, which is the pi over 2. Then at the back is pi over 2. 1/2 over pi over 3 is a point on the graph of y, r cos x, r cos 1/2 over pi over 3. So the domain and range of a function and its inverse are interchanged. So the domain of cos x is 0, greater than or less than to x, and less than or equal to pi. Then the domain of r cos x is negative 1, is greater than or equal to x, and but less than or equal to 1. Then the range of cos x is negative 1, greater than or less than to y, but less than or equal to 1. Then the range of r cos x is 0, less than or equal to y, then greater than or less than to pi.